quantum physics tells us we are 99.99% vacuum space in energy. When you look down at the subatomic level, we are 0.01% solid. The protons, the neutrons, the electrons. But we are 99% electromagnetic energy emanating from our core that we can now measure with a device. I've been diving deep into Joe Dispenza's work the last 6 months, and miracles are happening at his 4-day seminars. People show up with cancer and they leave 4 days later cancer-free. Blind people are seeing, deaf people are hearing, major depression is disappearing. And he has these machines that scan their electromagnetic energy before the seminars. When they're sick, they have depleted electromagnetic energy. And then 4 days later, he shows the scans again, and it's a nice, coherent aura. Now, the Earth and the Sun emit natural EMFs. But then there's man-made electronics that emit non-native EMFs. And so you have non-ionizing radiation, and then you have ionizing radiation. So X-rays are ionizing radiation and can be detrimental to our DNA and actually can cause cancer if we have long-term exposure. Until about 25 years ago, it was understood that non-ionizing radiation did not affect us so much. However, in the last 25 years, there's 26 studies showing non-ionizing radiation causes a massive influx of calcium that can actually alter our DNA. The International Research on Cancer, the agency and the WHO, labels it as a possible carcinogen based on animal and human trials showing that non-native EMFs cause tumors. Now, the tech companies have a lot of money tied up in Wi-Fi and cell phones, so there's a lot of misinformation out there. If you want to dive deeper, Joseph Mercola just launched a book called EMF'd, and I'm going to buy that soon. But let's stop talking about the issues and let's start talking about solutions. Once again, Mother Nature shows us her grace. All we have to do is take off our shoes and walk barefoot on the earth, and we get a current of electrons that shoots up through our bodies and actually neutralizes the EMFs. And so I bought a multimeter. Electricians use it to measure the EMF in buildings. And I bought a grounding mat that I've been using for the last about 10 months or so. Everybody knows I'm very particular about having evidence and measuring stuff, so I want to make sure it works before I used it. But the biggest difference I noticed was the sleeping grounding mat. Me and my fiance both showed huge improvements in our sleep. So before I started sleeping on this grounding mat, I would always wake up in the middle of the night. It's around like 2 or 3 a.m. One night sleeping on this, and it was just 7 hours deep sleep. I'm like, man, let's try this again. 10 months later, I'm hooked. And so Clint Ober is the leading researcher on this, and he wrote a book called Earthing. And I bought these from his company, Ultimate Longevity. He also released a documentary that's free on YouTube called Earthing. And the best story from the documentary is this 94-year-old woman. She's in a nursing home and bedridden. can't walk, and they have her sleep on this grounding mat for one night. The next day she starts, slowly walking with a walker. A few days later, she's playing tennis out with her friends, just having a ball. And that movie and that book really gave me the courage to at least try it, measure it, have my own direct experience. And it's been life-changing for me. In conclusion, the non-native EMFs are a lot more dangerous than we previously understood. I would like you all to have your own direct experience and find your truth. But if you just think about quantum physics, and we are 99.99% energy in space, it makes a lot of sense that we would need that connection to the earth, and all these non-native EMFs would affect that electromagnetic field. So get out there, get barefoot, look like an idiot. You can blame it on me. Grab you a grounding mat. Reach out to me as always for sources. I'm always putting out controversial stuff. And let's get grounded. Let's get earth. And thank you all.